We have hit the halfway mark in the AIA Singapore Premier League. Welcome to the SPL Show as we look back at the past weekend of matches in the Singapore Premier League. And the big one was the Eastern Derby between Geylang International and Tampines Rovers. And we have the Eagles on set. Head coach Noor Ali and Barry Maguire. Thank you guys for joining me on the SPL Show. Noor Ali, second appearance for you on set. And let's talk about the Eastern Derby. You've been on both sides of the Eastern Derby for Geylang International and Tampines Rovers. Over the years, has the rivalry evolved? Has it changed?
I think it's a bit more relaxed nowadays. You know, if you, during my playing days, it's a lot of difference. There's big players in both teams, and the rivalry or the word exchange during the game is horrible, But I think it's a bit toned down now in terms of the rivalry. But it's good that to see the fans out there, the rivalry is still there with the fans. If you look at OTH, they were standing outside and both of them were like, cheering and arguing with each other. Yeah. And I think the rivalry between the fans are still there. I mean, for me, I've been a player for both teams and also now coaching at Geylang. For me, of course, the passion of beating Tampines is always there.
Barry, for yourself and for the players, speaking on behalf of the players, did you all look forward to taking on the challenge of meeting the league leaders?
Yeah, of course. First of all, they have a good team. They're on top of the table, so you want to win against them. And like the coach says, it's a really important game for the fans too, so you really notice the week leading up that the fans are getting excited to play the game, and when the fans are excited, the players get more excited, of course, too.
We've hit the halfway mark, no? Satisfied with where the team are? You're mid-table, 6 points away from the top. Can you do better?
Oh, definitely, man. I think I have a very good team here, even despite losing Joshua, Pana and Noor Arif to national service and Pana going back home, I still think that I have a very good team here. I think the first two, after the COVID period, the first two games was a bit hard for us to settle down, but I think after Tanjung Pagar and Tampines game, I think hopefully we are back to our normal days and hopefully we start getting our wins again, So I won't say, there's still 7 games to play, and there's still a lot of things to play for. We still have a target as a team, and we still focus on that. But at this moment, I think every point or every game is very important to focus one game at a time.
Barry, on social media, when I see Geylang International post stuff on Facebook or on Instagram, it seems like the squad is really, really close. It's almost like a family atmosphere. What is it like in the dressing room?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's how he says it is. It was already last season. I think we really grew together as a team last season when we had a slow start, how we say it, and then the results picked up. We started playing better as a team and grew really close, and we kept most of the squad together this season. So yeah, like you say, like this, it's like almost like a family in the dressing room.
Fantastic. Well, we will have a look at the big one, the Eastern Derby, but not before we plug 42. Thank you so much, 42, for all the furniture on this set. So for all your furniture, home decor, and lifestyle needs, go to 42.sg. Fantastic stuff. Thank you, 42. All right, let's get on to the first game of the show. It is the big one, the Eastern Derby, Geylang International versus Tampines Rovers. Always an exciting fixture. Here's what happened at OTH. It doesn't get much bigger than this in the AIA Singapore Premier League. It is the last surviving derby in Singapore football, the Eastern Derby between Geylang International and Tampines Rovers. Ryan Sanizal, one touch to Kopitovic. Nakamura on his left foot, will he have a go? He does have a go, just goes wide. Good hold-up play by Kopitovic. Found his Japanese teammate, Nakamura. Ryan Sanizal gets past Harith with a little fake. Yase with some time, gets across it to Kopitovic. Big save, rebound put in, and Boris Kopitovic puts the Stags 1-0 up after 13 minutes in the Eastern Derby. Boris Kopitovic with goal number 3 of the season. Oh, that's a dangerous ball by Shah, straight to Khairul Nizam, who goes for the spectacular. What a strike that is! Khairul Nizam! Perhaps goal of the season. And it is a special goal for a special player. Let's fire past Shazwan Buhari. And you won't see a better strike than that anywhere in the world this weekend. Fidos Kasman picks up the loose ball. Good touch by Khairul Nizam, who proceeds to give it away. And Tampines Rovers on the counter. Nakamura from distance. So close. So close. As they come into that match. Oh, Kopitovic just gets ahead of Adam Hakim, who's already on a yellow card, Adam. And he's off. Adam Hakim, 2 yellows, equal red. And Geylang International will see out the rest of the match with only 10 men. Plays in Shahrus Azali with an early ball in. And what a tackle. That is by Harith Kanadi. It's raining goals at Bishan Stadium as Noor Luqman gets free here. Looks for Khairul Nizam. Heavy touch. Big chance for Geylang International. Not taken. Yase can turn in the area. Irwan Shah fires it. Madu Mohana, what a strike, what a save. Khairul Sherhan. Nizam gets the flick on, looking for Luqman, who gets ahead of Daniel Bennett. No Luqman, one-on-one, can he get a strike away? Good save, Shazwan Buhari. Second big chance for Geylang International. A big save via the feet. Tampines Rovers go down the other end to counter. Mehmedovic, late challenge. Strike comes in, what a save. Khairul Sherhan, not for the first time today. A great angle here. Late challenge by Maguire. Irwan Shah with the strike. And Khairul Sherhan equal to that. Yase down the right. Good ball in to Kopitovic. Doesn't find a target. Nakamura, and that's it. Big point for Geylang International. Down to 10 men for the majority of the second half. But they have held out. Full-time score here in the Eastern Derby. In Geylang International 1, Tampines Rovers 1. Plenty of talking points from that match. First of all, Noor Ali, your reaction for the fighting spirit shown by the team after going down to 10 men. You played 35 minutes of the second half, down to 10 men. Talk to me about the fighting spirit shown by the boys.
It's good to see that's what I've been waiting to see, you know, after the Balestier game, and they show a lot of characters, a lot of desire to hold on to the 1-1 scoreline, you know. But saying that, I think we matched Tampines end to end when we were 11 men, you know. I thought we could have collected the 3 points there, you know. But after the 10 men, definitely have to make a few changes, you know. Then. But that 10 players on the pitch were fantastic, you know. They keep on fighting till the end, and you know everybody was putting bodies in, you know. Even the referees was putting bodies in for us. so I think it's a very good performance for us.
Talking about bodies on the pitch, is the 4th red card of the season for Geylang International. For Adam, knowing that he's already on a yellow card, should he have made that challenge? He's been good so far since he's come in, but should he have been a bit more smarter?
I think he's young, and he has been out of football for so many years, 2 years through national service, and he came back, and suddenly I put him into action, you know, against Balestier, then Tanjung Pagar, you know, and we spoke about this every single day with him, you know, and I know that this is going to happen in the second half with Adam, you know, and I know Tampines know where they want to attack from, you know, so I think it's just a mistimed tackle from him, I know he will learn from here and move on, Yeah.
Let's talk about the goal, and it's good that we have someone who knows a little thing or two about special goals in Barry Maguire. Khairul Nizam, is he capable of that? Does he do that in training, or was it a once-in-a-lifetime strike?
I think if you see this strike, this is hopefully not one in a lifetime. I mean, hopefully he does it more for us this season. But yeah, he couldn't have hit it any better than this. So I mean, this was the perfect first touch, laid it in front of him, and then just shoot. I mean, couldn't have hit it any better.
I think last season when Barry scored that goal of the season, the interview on you was, you were saying, yeah, that would be goal of the season, and you were right. This one from Nizam?
I think I said it after, I said it's going to be the goal of the season. I mean, like, when he strike the ball, you know, and when the ball touches the net, I think when I was outside there, the first thing was like, I was going like, what the thing, you know, and then I realized that it was an empty stadium, you know, but it's not about the 1-1 at that point of time, it's just the goal, you know, it's just, I think it's the goal of the season, you know. I mean, yesterday Albirex scored a very good goal, but I don't think it's going to take away from Nizam goal. I think it's just a fantastic goal. I think it's going to be the goal of the season.
What is it about Geylang International and special goals? Is it because of the creative license that he provides to the team where you are free to express yourself on the pitch?
I think that's part of it, but also, I mean, the confidence that the coach gives to the players to do something like that. I mean, if a player doesn't have the confidence to do anything on the field, you're definitely not going to try to take a shot like that. So I think that's definitely part of it.
I think there was a game plan to nullify Tampines Rovers in the match, and it's very difficult to go toe-to-toe with them because they have the quality on the pitch, so there has to be a certain setup. They have struggled recently against you guys and against Young Lions, although they did rest some players. Are they going a little bit off the boil?
I mean, they still have the football that they want to play, you know, and which they are very consistent in terms of all the players they have. You look at the three backline we were just talking yesterday, you know, all three of them, you know, plus Bahaki, Dana Bennett. If you put me down there, it's going to be 100 or 200, you know. So the thing is, they have a very experienced backline. Shazwan is a very good goalkeeper, and they have very good foreigners and attacking players. You know? So, but for me, is at this point in time, you can go anyway, you know. I think for Tampines, I think with the hectic of the games that is coming up, you know, I think it will definitely take a toll on certain players that they have, you know.
Barry, on your end, for the team, you're in mid-table, but only 6 points behind Tampines, who lead the way. Is it, as Noor Ali says, anybody's game? Is the title there for anyone to take from the top 6 onwards?
Yeah, I think so. If you see the first 7 games, I mean, everybody wins against everybody, draws, loses. So I think, yeah, definitely it's up for everybody to go up there. I mean, 6 points in 7 games is a lot, but like you say, like they're gonna struggle. It's gonna be a lot of games in a short amount of time. So what's gonna happen with injuries, suspensions, and other teams picking up the points? So I mean, it's gonna be an interesting 3 weeks ahead.
Yeah, you guys will hope that you're in the reckoning, especially until the last game of the season, because we will have a look at your remaining fixtures, your 7 fixtures coming up. Some interesting ones. You have 4 home games in a row at our Tampines hub, and you finish it off against Tampines Rovers at OTH. It's an away game, technically for you guys, but yeah, what do you think about that? Albirex, a tough one coming up, but Tanjung Pagar, Hougang, Lion City Sailors, you fancy your chances against Balestier and Young Lions as well. What do you think of that, Noor Ali?
Like I say, we take one game at a time. I think the first thing is Albirex. They are not an easy team. They have been. I think they won the last game 4-0. But saying that, we have beaten them last year once, you know, or twice actually. You know, so for me is. I won't say playing at OTH will give us any advantage. As long as the players keep on coming out and perform like how they play against Tampines, then definitely we can collect points at OTH.
Barry, last line on this topic. How physically tired are everyone right now? I mean, it's the same for every club because of this grueling fixture schedule. But physically, how much of a toll is it taking on the body?
I'm feeling pretty good, actually.
It must be the coffee,
It must be the coffee.
No, I'm feeling pretty good, actually. So I'm looking forward to the next game. And I think as a player, you don't want to train. I mean, I'd rather play games than train. So I mean, this schedule, as you can look at it, play every 3 to 4 days. Sounds perfect to me. And then, of course, you have to take care of yourself, take your rest, and take care of your body. And hopefully you don't get any knocks in the games. But I mean, you cannot look too far ahead. So it's like the coach said, go to the next game and then see how you feel afterwards.
Yeah, big one for Geylang International coming up against Albirex Niigata. All right, let's move on to our next game. And it was an emotional affair at Jurong East Stadium as Albirex Niigata took on Hougang United. The Cheetahs going into this game less than 48 hours after learning of the sad passing of their assistant coach, Salim Moin. It was brave of them to take to the pitch in a very emotionally charged affair. Here's what happened at Jurong East Stadium. We're coming to you live from Jurong East Stadium for this AIA Singapore Premier League encounter between Albirex Niigata and Hougang United, and it is going to be an emotional affair for the Cheetahs today, who take to the pitch less than 48 hours after we heard the tragic and sad news of the passing of their assistant coach Salim Moin late on Friday evening. Looks for the run of Nazrul Nazari, who's through on goal here on his 100th appearance for the club. Nazrul to Shawal, off the bar. Did it cross the line? No, it didn't, says the referee. Big chance for Hougang United, not taken. Well, unselfish play there by Nazrul Nazari, who decides against going for goal, but a missed opportunity, perhaps just too high for Shawal. Hashioka skips past Farhan. Hashioka looks for the 1-2 with Taniguchi, finds Doi. Doi goes for goal! Ridwan Barudin was unmoved. That was a good build-up once again from Albirex Niigata. They've been patient and looking for gaps. Kamata. Nagasawa, the option on the left. Kamata goes central to Taniguchi. Doi in the area. Tomoyuki. Doi! Just wide. Ridwan stood still, and thankfully for Hougang United, it did not find the back of the net. Still goalless at Jurong East. Here's Farouz Hassan down the right, movement ahead of him. Looking for Doi, still here with Albirex Niigata. Hashioka in the area. Here's a chance, and it's 1-0 for Albirex Niigata. They have broken the deadlock. They're asking for the offside, Hougang United. But good setup play. Farouz Hassan to Hashioka in the area. They were queuing up at the back. A miscue from Taniguchi. And it was Kamata at the back stick that puts it away. Decent ball in. Anderson with the header. Off the line. And I believe it might have been the captain, Hashioka. And that's as close as it's come for Hougang in the second half. Oh, miscue by Aplin. Doi wins possession back. Nagasawa. Kureshima. From range, Kureshima! That's a special one from Kenta Kureshima. Well, we saw a brilliant strike yesterday, and this could have equaled that. Albirex Niigata 2-0 up, and Kenta Kureshima with a special strike from distance had the confidence to go for goal, and no chance for Ridwan Barudin. As clean as it comes. Kamata. Plenty of space down the right here for Mitsuzuka. And here's a big opportunity for 3, and they do. And it's Tomoyuki Doi who finally gets the goal that he's been waiting for. 5 goals for the season. And Tomoyuki Doi wraps up the 3 points for Albirex Niigata. Hougang will still have to deal with his free kick that Hanada will stand over and deliver. It is Hanada, a dangerous one, and here's a chance for 4. And Ryo Sakuma, coming off from the back, scores his first of the season. And it's 4-0 Albirex. Well, the big burly centre-back mopping up after that little spill from Ridwan. And Sakuma reacting the quickest. And that should be that for Albirex Niigata as Jansen Fu blows the full-time whistle. A convincing victory by the White Swans as they recover from that 2-0 defeat last weekend against Tampines Rovers. Hard on Hougang United, but a big 3 points for Albirex Niigata. 4-0 winners over Hougang United. Yeah, big win for Albirex Niigata over Hougang United, but for the both of you, have you ever been in a situation like that in terms of the Hougang United perspective, having to get onto a football pitch 48 hours after tragic news affecting the club? Noor Ali and Barry, if you have stories to share.
I mean, I have no experience of that, but I mean, it's sad to hear the passing of the late Salim Moin. You know, I've played with him 95 when I started my career in Tampines, you know, and I was very scared of him at that point in time, you know, because he doesn't smile. But looking at him on the pitch, you know, he's a great role model. You know, this guy has left and right. His shooting is just perfect to see, you know, and his delivery of balls, you know, and someone you really admire to sit down and just watch him at that age, you know. And I mean, it's sad to see that, you know, someone who has contributed so much in Singapore football, and especially also in development of Singapore young players, to go like that lah. But I think that's life, you know, and it's sad to hear this news lah.
Barry, you know, we all talk about being professional and, you know, we have to play the game no matter what the circumstances are, but you have to feel for the Hougang United players to take to the pitch physically tired as well and emotionally drained going into that match.
Yeah, props to them that they showed up in the game and played the way they did, especially you see how hard they worked with the whole team. Yeah, it's really difficult, especially in such an important person and in the team in the season. It's really tough to get onto the field and focus like that, especially with the whole team and getting ready for an important game like that too.
Yeah. Onto the match itself, no, and big chance for Shawal. After 10 minutes, the game would have been so different if he put it away, but at the end of the day, as Barry mentioned, tired legs just taking a toll on them.
I think we look at the last 30 minutes. That's where all the goals start to happen, you know. And that, I think that's all about tired legs, you know. And it's not easy also for Hougang. They have been playing, I think, 3 games in 7 days, you know. So, I mean, we can't talk about Albirex. Japanese, they are a very fit team, you know. They can play every day also, you know, and still keep on running 90 minutes, you know. So, I think definitely, you know, I think the 3 games in 7 days have taken a toll on the Hougang team.
Yeah, Albirex Niigata had a full week to prepare as well for this fixture, so had the advantage of that. Are you seeing glimpses of the Albirex Niigata that dominated Singapore football from 2016 to 2018?
I don't see that team in this year's team lah. I think the 2016-18 team, they had a very good team lah. That team is really super. You know, they have players like Kawata, who's now scoring goals at Vortis, and they're top of table, you know, and Inaba also playing in J2, you know, and you have Kento Nagasaki who's also playing in Thailand. There are quality players, you know, that batch of boys, you know. I think this team is still beatable, you know, and they definitely have some good players, but I don't think these players are good enough to go back to play in J2 or J1, you know. Yep. But that squad of 2016 and 18 is too good, too good. Yeah.
Barry, Albirex Niigata have the habit of spreading the goals around, and they might have missed, or people might have thought they would have missed Ryo Nishiguchi, who was the top scorer going into the match with 5 goals. He was missing through an ankle injury, but they spread the goals around with Kamata and that fantastic strike as well from Kureshima. Is it important to be able, as a football team, to just spread it around and not just rely on a couple of players?
I mean, if you have a striker who scores 20 goals like the DPV had last season, I mean, nobody's going to complain about that. But if you see Albirex playing, I think one of their strengths too is playing as a team, being compact, strong, and then coming out together. And then like this, if you can put the goals around, I think it's one of their strengths, that the whole squad is strong and then trying to do it together.
Speaking about players who get the goals, Stipe Plazibat was in action for Lion City Sailors as they took on Balestier Khalsa in the final match of this show. And Balestier Khalsa coming into this match in a good run of form, and they might have expected a result here, but it ended up being the Stipe Plazibat show.
The lights are on a cloudy afternoon here at Bingshan Stadium. Here we are focusing on 2 teams that share this stadium. The Tigers of Balestier Khalsa are on their best run in 5 years against the Lion City Sailors, who still struggle to put together 2 consecutive wins. Shardan, what can he do here? It's a ridiculously narrow angle. Can he whip this in and deceive Zaiful Nizam? Will he put it into the 6-yard box to try and find Stipe? It's Stipe, and it's 1-0. Well, that was textbook from the Lion City Sailors. Stipe Plazibat towering over the Khalsa defenders. A pinpoint cross from the set piece from Shardan, and Stipe Plazibat's up to 10 for the season. The first player in the league to get to double digits. The young Lions, here they come down the left once more. This squad packed full of attacking talent. They managed to find Plazibat in the area. Lovely dink over the top, narrow angle, and a great finish. Super strike, lovely ball from Plazibat and from a narrow angle. Zaiful Nizam can't stop the Sailors, making it 2. We've played 18 minutes here, and the Sailors are in cruise control. Have a look at this from Stipe Plazibat. Finished it brilliantly. They just come back on from the drinks break. Open play. Oh, they've had it pinched. Their pockets pinched by Gabriel Quack. Gabriel Quack into the area. Lovely pass to Plazibat to make it 3! What a score! The Lion City Sailors carve Balestier Khalsa apart. A shocking defensive mistake, a great steal by Gabriel Quack. And all 3 goals have been works of art from the Lion City Sailors. Gabriel Quack taking it off the toes of Hougang Yi. The lovely reverse pass into Stipe Plazibat, who rolls it past Khairul Nizam. And this game may already be over as a contest. Balestier Khalsa 0, the Lion City Sailors 3. I wonder if Gabriel Quack's sizing this up from that angle for a shot. Maybe a brave man to take it off of Chardin here. He's an option here, Gabriel Quack, though. Although having managed to get Chardin to link up with Plazibat moments ago, they'll try the same again, and they've done it again! And it's 4! 2 set pieces from Chardin, 2 pinpoint perfect passes, and 2 sensational headed goals from Stipe Plazibat. He has scored a 31-minute hat-trick, his second of the season, and Balestier Khalsa are being taken to the cleaners at Bishan. Down the left, now they're spending it down the right. Gabriel Quack over the top, and Stipe's in, and the flag's down. He's not going to score a 4th, is he? Selfishly squares it, and they make it 5! The Sailors are wiping the floor with Balestier Khalsa. Somebody stop this as a contest. Lovely finish from Saifullah. And again, look at Plazibat. He scored a hat-trick, yet he's still selfless enough to square him from Saifullah and take nothing away from the finish of the Lion City Sailor midfielder. That was absolutely exquisite. 5-0, and at this rate, we could be looking at double digits. Hougang Yi, but just like that, it's 5. Becoming 6, what's he given here? Some confusion, they're saying offside and the assistant referee's given this goal. But the replay's going to be interesting. Everyone stopped. It was a clearance from Khairul Nizam. The looping header. Stipe Plazibat was offside. I don't think Tajelli was, and Tajelli's got it on the act. It's 6. Well, Rudy's asked for trouble there. Krajcik with Rudy off his line. They've got one back. Well, that's criminal defending. I was talking about the clean sheet, and the intensity has dropped from all concerned here. So we've had 7 goals, and Balestier Khalsa are on the mark after 63 minutes. Decent finish from Krajcik. Can strut his stuff alongside Gabriel Quack. The floodgates could really open. They're in again, they're queuing up. Plazibat for his 4th with a lead for Swandy! He's been on the pitch for 30 seconds, and Adam Swandy has scored another goal. And we've now had 8 goals in 64.5 minutes at Bishan Stadium. And all of a sudden, the title race is on. Balestier Khalsa have been thrashed by the Lion City Sailors by 7 goals to 1. Statement has been made. The Lion City Sailors go second in the AIA Singapore Premier League. And with Tampines being held at OTH, they're now just 5 points off the Stags at the top.
Yeah, Stipe is on fire. Your defense is terrified. I mean, he's been brought in to get the goals for Lion City Sailors, but even he must be amazed at the start that he's had for the club.
I think he's quite lucky as a striker, so, you know, because at the end of the day, you need players around you, you know, because if you look at players like, I mean, you know players like Mirko Grovabak, these are players, strikers who can do things on their own to get the goals, you know, but I think Stipe has very good players around him, you know. If you look at the 2 goals, you know, I was just talking to Barry, the 2 free kicks are very good, you know. If you are a goal opportunist, you never take that kind of chances, you know, and he needs a team around him, you know. If you look at him in Hougang, he's struggling to get the goals, you know. But in LCS, I think he's scoring like nobody business now, you know. But definitely he's a good striker, you know. And it's good for him to have good players around him, people like Gabriel, you know, Song, you know, and even Saifullah, young boy but very good attacking player, you know. So I mean, looking at the situation, I know he might win the top scorer award.
Yeah, well, he's pretty clear ahead of anyone else. Balestier Khalsa hit 7-1 for the 2nd season running. DPMM did damage last season. Do you just put it down as one of those games and just carry on? What would you do as a player after suffering a loss like that?
Move on to the next game real quick, because I mean, if you see the goals in this game, they just kept on coming the whole time. I mean, Stipe was I think every ball he touched went basically in or was an assist. So yeah, sometimes it's just one of those games that everything for the opponent works out. Everything goes on target and then goes in. And I mean, I don't say there's nothing you can do about it in the game itself, but especially afterwards, you analyze it and then work on it and then try to prevent it the next game.
What can you do as a coach? I mean, you have to feel for Marco, right? I mean, he's on the touchline. There's nothing much you can do.
I mean, definitely, man. I mean, as a coach, getting beaten 7-1, it's always hard to sleep, actually. First, when I lost to LCS the first game 4-0, I think it takes me about 2-3 days to bounce back. Then I lose again to Balestier. So that plus like 7 days of, and so I think it's very hard, but the only thing you can do is, I always tell the team, you just got to be strong, bounce back again, work again, go onto the pitch, correct your mistakes, and start all over again, and I think that's very important. I know it's very hard to bring the team morals up sometimes, especially with this scoreline, but you have to stay positive. Just stay positive. Yeah.
Very a lot was made about Lion City Sailors spending the money, getting all the superstars, and they have big players in their side, but are we seeing signs that the stars are now gelling to become a team, perhaps, for Lion City Sailors?
I mean, they won a big game, although there was a big score there, but I mean, it's hard to say after a couple of games. I mean, they won the games now, so that's important too, but there's more pressure on them to win the next games too. I mean, it's going to be more and more. It's not just 1 or 2 games, and still, they're a couple of points away from the first spot, so yeah. I think it's going to be difficult for them too, especially when it's so close in the league, and the other teams are going to pick up too, but like you say, there's pressure on them, and they won now 2 games, so we'll see how they go for the next couple of games.
Yeah, the Sailors moving up the table. All right, let's have a look at the results confirmation from over the weekend. And yeah, the big scoreline. Lion City Sailors 7-1 winners over Balestier Khalsa. Plazibat with yet another hat-trick. At OTH, Geylang International and Tampines Rovers share the spoils. And at Jurong East Stadium, Albirex Niigata, big winners over Hougang United. So what did that do to the table? Well, let's have a look. Tampines Rovers still lead the way, but not as comfortable as it was perhaps last week. 2-point advantage over Albirex Niigata. The Sailors, Balestier and Geylang breathing down their necks. Hougang United in 6th position, 7 points behind Tampines Rovers. Tanjong Pagar and Young Lions not in action. Tanjong Pagar still awaiting their first win of the season. All right, let's have a look at the top scorers. And this is interesting, and I'm going to run down for this stat for you. Stipe Plazibat with 12 goals after 7 matches, 5 of course with Hougang United earlier in the season. He has scored more than Tanjong Pagar United and Young Lions combined, and besides the top 3, he has scored more than all the clubs from 4th position and below. And league leaders Tampines Rovers have scored the same amount as Stipe Plazibat himself as an individual. Nishiguchi and Doi on 5 goals for Albirex Niigata. Geylang International representation there, Khairul Nizam with 4. Plenty more Albirex Niigata players there, Taniguchi and Nagasawa. So they're spreading the goals around, but Lion City Sailors with 20 goals for the season, they are the top scorers in the league, followed by Albirex Niigata, who I think have 19 now for the season. All right, let's have a look at the upcoming fixtures. And it will be a Thursday and Friday matchup with Deepavali weekend. Hougang United taking on Young Lions at the Hougang Stadium. It's been a while since they've played a match there. Balestier will look to rebound against Tampines Rovers, who themselves will look to get a win under their belt that match at Bishan Stadium. On Friday, the big one is Geylang International up against Albirex Niigata, and Lion City Sailors with the goals, with Stipe Plazibat up against winless Tanjong Pagar United. It could get ugly at Bishan Stadium. All right, let's have a little talk about Geylang International against Albirex Niigata. Revenge for earlier in the season?
I think at this point in time, like I said earlier on, every point is very important for us moving forward, because if you look at the table, like I say, anything happens, and you have to play the game right, and plan the game well, So, I mean, for us, like I say earlier on, they are not the 16 or 18 Albirex team. I think Tampines have beaten them 2-0, at OTH. I think we definitely want to go out there and try to collect the 3 points against them, and try to move up the tables ourselves. Yeah.
Barry, I know the club has ambitions of continental football, whether it is AFC Champions League, whether it is AFC Cup next season. Are these the kind of games that you need to win against a team that is high up on the league as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's double points. If you win against the great teams, they lose the points, and you make a big step towards them. So yeah, the games against Tampines, LCS, Albirex, those are basically double points. If you win against them, then you get closer to them now. And then actually, if you want to compete for things in the league, then you definitely have to win games like this.
50% of the season down, another 50% to go, all in a space of 1 month. It will be a grueling fixture schedule for all the sides in the Singapore Premier League. Noor and Barry, thank you so much for joining me on the SPL show. Hope to have you one more time before the season ends, and hopefully with Geylang International challenging for the title. Thank you guys for joining me, and thank you for watching us on the SPL show. We will be back next week to round off the fixtures once again. See you.